Niggas on beats, boy.
Subscribe to Kiwi Box. That's the one. Yeah. Good luck.
Kia ora team. Happy New Year, and I hope you're enjoying your holidays and everybody's had a great Christmas. As you can tell by the volume of my content, I'm on holiday, but I thought I'd drop a vid today. So, Alexander Usyk's promoter came out on Saturday and said that Jarrell Big Baby Miller and Joseph Parker have turned down fights against Alexander Usyk. And I've seen a couple of people talking about why these guys have turned down this fight. Now I've got a couple of articles here I will leave in the description box. One in particular is about the story that broke. David Higgins responded to a tweet from Alexander Usyk's promoter saying, "Hang on, how can we turn down a fight if we haven't been offered it?" There was no communication with any of Joseph Parker's team for a fight against Alexander Usyk. So the story is false. Now that makes me wonder, why would they put the story out there if there's no facts to it? I would like to see a Joseph Parker Alexander Usyk fight, or a Big Baby Miller Alexander Usyk fight. It would be a great introduction for Usyk to the heavyweight division. I'm not going to speculate on who may win those fights because they never got made, but I think they would definitely be competitive. But in the article, David Higgins goes on to talk about Alexander Usyk would be a great fight, but possibly not the best timing, particularly for Joseph Parker. I mean, where would the fight be? Would have to be in the Ukraine to have a decent fan base for Alexander Usyk. I mean, he did fight in the UK against Tony Bellew and put in a great performance, but I don't think he's got that many UK fans behind him. At the moment, he's co-promoted by Eddie Hearn on a 3-fight deal. There's 2 fights left, so you know, a possible undercard fight, maybe April 13th on the undercard of Anthony Joshua or whoever's going to fight at Wembley, could have been a possibility, or a fight in New Zealand where there's a proven fan base for Joseph Parker. But at this stage, Usyk doesn't have a very big global fan base. I mean, anybody who's really into boxing really knows who he is and likes watching him, but unless you're a hardcore fan, Alexander Usyk doesn't have that huge a profile. I mean, the cruiserweight division never had a huge following, so it's a big difference to heavyweight. But hopefully we will see Alexander Usyk fight at heavyweight against a decent opponent. Either of those two that were mentioned would have been good to start, but we'll see where he goes. So, like I say, he's only got 2 more fights on the Eddie Hearn co-promotion deal. Whether it'll be extended or not is yet to be seen, but I imagine he's probably going to want an Anthony Joshua shot on his 3rd fight, so he would definitely need a decent level opponent at heavyweight as a bit of a tune-up fight. So yeah, make of it what you will. There's also an article I'll attach, where to for Joseph Parker sort of thing. The matchmakers are having trouble trying to find a fight for him, as he's known as a guy who's got a couple of losses. He's ranked, what, 5th with the WBC, I think, at present. We'll see if he gets another ranking next month when everybody's rankings tick over after his win over Alexander Flores. But yeah, he's a tough opponent for anybody. He's definitely world level, so it's hard for him to get a fight unless he's got a decent ranking to put up for grabs. So we'll see what happens, but I can imagine it would be tough finding him an opponent at this stage. Apparently they're looking at fighting in the UK. They work closely with Eddie Hearn easily if they can get a decent fight. Joseph really wants that Dillian White rematch, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen in the near future. White is concentrating on a title shot now that he's got a spectacular win over Derek Chisora. So I don't know, if he can fight in the UK and get a decent fight, it'll be great, but it's looking like we may have a Auckland, New Zealand fight if nothing comes off for Joseph Parker. It's good for me because I live in Auckland, but yeah, I want to see him at the top level once again fairly quickly. At least a top 20 opponent next would be great, but we'll see. So let us know your thoughts. Why do you think Usyk's promoter come out with Parker turned down a fight when the fight wasn't even offered? What's the strategy behind that? And where do you think Joseph Parker will go next? Also, where do you think Alexander Usyk will go next? Let us know. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll catch you in the next one. Big Boys Boxing. We out. See you.
Zone beats, boy.